In the infinite depths of our planet lie ancient enigmas waiting to be solved. Hidden in the dark corners of mystical caves, they have the power to add new pages to history or contradict our perceptions of the world. We will immerse ourselves in the mysterious world of caves to come face to face with inexplicable wonders that defy everything we know so far. In this video, we will show you the 15 strangest things found in caves. Mountain hiking is a popular sport, but it's not just athletes who have a passion for climbing and exploring mysterious caves. In January 2016, a boy named Danny from New York and his friend embarked on a hike that turned out to be a horrifying experience. In the Catskill Mountains of the northern Appalachians, during their hike, they discovered a strange wooden statue. It had nails driven into its eyes and a rope tied around its neck, emanating an unpleasant aura. Danny warned his friend not to touch it, fearing that it was related to devil worship, but his friend ignored him and took the statue out of the cave, and soon the problems began. A few days later, Danny received a panicked call from his friend, who believed that the statue was inhabited by ghosts. It moved around the house, emitting strange swamp-like smells, and his friend suffered from sleep disorders due to constant knocking on the door. At first, they thought it was the dog causing the trouble, but the dog showed no interest in the statue. Everyone, including the dog, was too scared to return the statue to the cave, and they were advised to deliver it to a local museum of paranormal and occult phenomena. Deep within the Lomolunga Cave near the city of Altamura in Italy lies a marvelous discovery that has captivated the scientific world. An extraordinary skeleton covered in calcite, small quartz-like crystals resembling salt. The skeleton belongs to an ancient Neanderthal human and was found in the depths of a karstic well. The discovery was named the Man of Altamura. The cave that firmly held the skeleton revealed its secret in 1993, and its fragile bones were wisely left undisturbed in the same place. Upon closer examination, scientists discovered similarities between the Man of Altamura and typical Neanderthal features. Prominent brow ridges, but in this individual, they were even larger than the ridges of other Neanderthals. However, the discovery of these unusual bones marks an exceptional milestone in the field of science. Fabio Di Vincenzo, a renowned paleoanthropologist and co-author of the research, acknowledged that the skeleton of the Man of Altamura is the most intact of all non-modern human skeletons ever discovered. All the elements of its bones remained impeccably preserved. Numerous legends and beliefs surround the Mayan civilization, but what they left behind sends a chill down one's spine. This marvelous cave was discovered in Central America, near the city of San Ignacio, and to enter it, one had to cross transparent waters. The explorers were presented with an astounding sight. They discovered the remains of ancient Mayan rituals dedicated to their deities. The Mayans considered this cave as the entrance to the underworld and performed human sacrifices there. Millennia have kept an intriguing enigma. Among the skeletons, there is one called the Crystal Maiden. The surface of her bones petrified, but because they were covered with a layer of calcite, they appeared to shimmer like crystal. It is estimated that this young woman was 18 years old at the time of her death when she, along with other unfortunate individuals, was sacrificed and arranged in the cave in a special manner according to the ritual. Her vertebrae were broken, but the skeleton remained intact for over 1,000 years. Alongside this mysterious skeleton, others lie. Among them are babies, a 7-year-old child, a 15-year-old teenager, then people around 20, 30, and 45 years old. Other skeletons simply crumbled, but the maiden remained intact due to her unusual composition. The cave itself emanates an aura of mysticism. It is artistically decorated with stone altars and skillfully crafted complex silhouettes of faces and animals by the Mayans. Ceramics and clay pottery, decorated with intricate patterns, have also been wonderfully preserved, dating back to the 8th to 9th centuries AD, potentially coinciding with the times when the Maya civilization performed sacrifices. Deep underground in the Mexican state of Chihuahua, far below ground level, lies an incredible sight. A horseshoe-shaped cave that houses a massive deposit of giant gypsum crystals in various shapes, weights, transparencies, and shades. This impressive display of milky white crystals has captivated scientists and researchers from around the world. Planet Earth is a theater of incredible natural phenomena and a unique museum in the universe of astonishing things. The journey to the magical cave began over 20 years ago when miners were searching for valuable minerals. But who knew they would encounter a spectacle that belonged to another realm? The cave was officially named the Cave of Crystals. Blocks of crystals stack up to tens of meters, and the crystals can weigh up to 55 tons, some so massive that you can walk on them in length and width. It is remarkable that this beautiful otherworldly phenomenon is buried deep within the earth. Approximately 3 miles below its surface lies a massive deposit of molten magma, and over time, the cave gradually filled with water, and the infiltrating groundwater carried a large amount of useful mineral particles. The titanic heat emitted by the magma acted as a natural oven, maintaining an ideal constant temperature for approximately 500,000 years. Do you like cockroaches as much as scientists do? This enchanting Gomantong Cave, located on the charming island of Borneo, is a beacon that attracts travelers from all over the world. This tourist attraction is famous for its population. It hosts billions of bats, birds, and insects, along with an army of cockroaches. They are the true masters of the planet. The height of these majestic cliffs, stretching for 300 feet, is the perfect place for bats to inhabit. They blanket the night sky as they flutter in the darkness with their mesmerizing dance. However, as you venture into the cave, you will be halted by a vast amount of excrement left by the bustling population of bats and birds. Nonetheless, everything here is orderly and logical. The birds feed on the insects, and the abundance of excrement rightfully belongs to the scavengers who feast here, especially the cockroaches. It's not surprising that this wonderland has earned the name the Cockroach Cave and consists of 2 chambers, the Black Chamber and the White Chamber. Surely a floor filled with cockroaches is not a sight for the faint of heart, but there are adventurous souls who wish to unravel its secrets. The local police had to deal with a crime that occurred thousands of years ago. The discovery in a mysterious Mexican cave left them horrified. Piled up in heaps, they found approximately 150 human skulls. The cave was located near the border with Guatemala, an area that has experienced a lot of violence and human trafficking, so authorities initially suspected it was a brutal mass crime. However, during the investigation, it was discovered that this was not a recent crime. The bones found were over 1,000 years old and dated back to the period between 900 and 1200 AD. It turned out that these skulls did not belong to victims of a recent murder, but were remnants of an ancient ritual, a terrifying and ancient act of mass sacrifice or something similar. The 150 victims had been decapitated and gathered in the cave, and furthermore, it was discovered that the brutally decapitated individuals had forcibly had their teeth removed. Archaeologists believed that these sacrifices involved a display of the decapitated heads, which were showcased as trophies. It is worth noting that what is an unacceptable sight of a decapitated head to us was a relatively common spectacle in ancient cultures as part of their rituals. In the year 2016, archaeologists made a chilling discovery that left them trembling with fear. In a cave in Belgium, numerous human bones were found, and these bones were not normal. There were horrifying signs of a massacre, as if the victims had been cut and torn into pieces. The researchers carefully examined the remains and noticed that some bones had been intentionally opened to extract the valuable bone marrow inside. There were traces of strange knife incisions showing that the flesh had been skillfully separated from the bones. A terrifying scene of cruelty and violence that shocked those who discovered this nest of cannibalism. The investigation attributed this finding to the time of the Neanderthals, who lived in the territory of present-day Belgium between 40,000 and 45,000 years ago. It seems that their struggle for survival turned them into cannibals who fed on their own kind. In 1986, in Romania, a new cave called Movil was discovered. The cave seemed small and had narrow passages covered in clay. But what made the discovery truly astonishing was that after an exciting gallery, the interior of the cave turned out to be enormous. And what was found challenged existing theories about life on our planet. The cave was sealed like a bottle, creating a toxic environment due to the lack of fresh air. However, in these harsh conditions, a new and diverse life astonishingly formed. In total, scientists counted 48 different species of animals, including spiders, scorpions, and centipedes. Even more fascinating was that 33 of these species were endemic, meaning they only inhabited this cave and nowhere else in the world. Experts wondered how these creatures could survive in the cave's toxic atmosphere. It turned out they relied on a process called chemosynthesis, similar to photosynthesis in plants, which converted the toxic gases into food for the bacteria that formed the basis of the cave's food chain. The smaller organisms in the cave depended on these bacteria, while in turn serving as food for larger animals like worms, shrimps, spiders, and scorpions. Thus, this intricate cycle created a self-sustaining ecosystem that allowed life to thrive within the enclosed, nearly airless cave. Beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies the mysterious underground world of the catacombs. These ancient tunnels have a fascinating past. They were originally excavated to extract limestone, which was used to build palaces and cathedrals, but over time, they became a unique cemetery for over 6 million souls. The history of the catacombs dates back to the 11th century, starting from the Cemetery of the Innocents, where victims of the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre and people who died from the bubonic plague were buried. The eerie catacombs stretch over a great distance. The tourist route is a 1-hour walk through 2 kilometers of tunnels. But many know that the actual dimensions of these corridors are much larger. They were discovered in 1774 when the walls of one of the basements near the Cemetery of the Innocents collapsed, allowing Paris to address the crisis of overcrowded cemeteries. It was a large-scale project. Initially, covered carts were used to transport human remains from different cemeteries throughout the city to the catacombs. Then, the bones were organized and stacked like a kind of construction. Access to the catacombs is located in a special pavilion in the metro station, and year after year, the flow of tourists continues to increase. The famous mathematician Blaise Pascal also found his final resting place in this common repository. The eternal mysteries of this underground world captivate the imagination of writers, historians, and ordinary people. Nowadays, around 550,000 people visit the Paris catacombs each year, and for now, access to this unusual underground realm is open to all. But a recent expedition of scientists made a surprising discovery while exploring the most remote areas of the catacombs. They found a mysterious cave that seemed to have emerged out of nowhere. This cave had been a sealed chamber where its inhabitants had lived isolated from the outside world for the past 3 million years. Is it possible to revive extinct species of organisms from that time? Among the landscapes of West Midlands in England, there is a deep rabbit hole that is slightly larger than expected. This unexplored portal holds an exciting secret. Here, beneath vaults, legends and mysteries from centuries past come to life. This cave, carved in stone, is believed to have been created by the enigmatic Knights Templar, who supposedly used it as a sanctuary for their secret rituals. What appeared to be a simple rabbit hole impresses with the elegance and grandeur of its vaults and sandstone columns. The complex network of passages and arches was clearly carefully designed to confound strangers. Although further evidence is needed to confirm the cave's connection to the secretive Order of the Templars, and despite this impressive sanctuary being located on private property, an act of vandalism occurred in 2012 that led to its closure. If you're interested in horror stories, you might want to visit the Cave of the Infernal Fire in West Wickham, United Kingdom, considered the creepiest in the world. 300 feet below the Earth's surface lies a fascinating labyrinth with an intricate network of corridors and small caves resembling rooms and chambers. Every person who walks through these underground passages can hear the whisper of their stories. In the mid-18th century, a secret society known as the Hellfire Club turned the cave into their secret residence. Club members held privileged positions in politics and society, and the cave served as their secret meeting place. Dim chambers echoed with voices, decisions affecting the world were made, and even simulated rituals were conducted. Rumors about this incredible cult spread like wildfire, but no concrete evidence was presented. The cave became a refuge for the chosen few, but many believe it is inhabited by ghosts. Some have seen the specter of a bride named Suki, who was deceived by her cruel fiancé and whose tragic fate ended in the cave. Some claim that the founder of the club still roams in the darkness of the passages, and people have reported strange floating orbs and ghostly voices resonating in the depths. Undoubtedly, this is a terrifying place. The Cave of the Infernal Fire is not for the faint of heart, and if you already feel a tingling sensation down your spine and fear the supernatural, it's better to watch a video and not venture there on your own. In the charming village of Valin, located in the south of France, lies the Chauvet Cave, discovered in 1994. Named in honor of the brave explorer Jean-Marie Chauvet, this cave was revealed to the world as a surprising treasure. Venturing into the depths of the cave, Jean-Marie encountered a marvelous collection of ancient wonders, untouched by time. Among the incredible findings were footprints etched into the cave floor, evidence of the existence of an ancient human being, dating back 25,000 to 30,000 years. Detailed examination revealed that the footprints belonged to a child of approximately 4.5 feet tall, who had passed through accompanied by a loyal companion, possibly a wolf or a dog. The trail of footprints extended for over 100 feet, indicating a calm and determined passage through the soft clay. Additionally, experts believe that the child had surprisingly large feet, measuring over 8.5 inches in length and 3.5 inches in width, suggesting a robust physical constitution. Scattered charcoal marks on the cave walls indicate that the young explorer carried a torch to light their way in the darkness, and at some point, they paused to clean the torch, leaving a charcoal mark on the wall as a frozen moment in time. An astonishing discovery occurred in the early months of the War of 1812 in America and caused a stir throughout the local community. It wasn't just some ancient artifact, but the perfectly preserved remains of an ancient Indian woman. Her origin and the circumstances of her death were a mystery, but many speculated that she could have been a powerful priestess or witch, a wise old woman or a leader. Later, the woman's body was delicately moved from the cave, the natural entrance to the cavern known as the Rotunda, to a new passage called the Gothic Avenue. The decision to move her was necessary as mining activities in the Rotunda made it an uncomfortable place for such a valuable find. Fortunately, a turning point came when she was rescued from Ward's possessions in 1817 and moved to the secure walls of the Society of Antiquaries of America. Although the mummy had undergone mishandling before, its state was still worthy of being exhibited to the public. The cave is definitely not the best place for children to wander, and an incident confirms it. Catherine Van Alst disappeared at first and then returned, but in 1946, the Van Alst family decided to go camping at a state park in Washington County, Arkansas. In the United States, this park was intended for picnics, camping, mountain hiking, and horseback riding. In short, it was a peaceful place for family vacations. The Van Alst family thought their trip would be unforgettable for the children, and it was, but in a different sense. 8-year-old Catherine was playing near a stream with her father and siblings, dressed only in a swimsuit, not even wearing shoes, so no one expected her to suddenly disappear. The family searched for Catherine nearby, thinking she was playing hide-and-seek, but they couldn't find her. The family then sought the help of the police and park rangers. They searched the entire park, but after 6 days of searching, even they lost hope. However, a group of volunteers decided to search the cave several miles from the campground, and there they found Catherine, safe and sound. And that was just the beginning of a strange case. Catherine claimed that she had survived by eating berries, although some of them were clearly poisonous. Surprisingly, she knew which ones were edible. Moreover, despite having cuts and bruises on her body, she didn't look like a child who had been lost and survived in the wild for 6 days. What's even more intriguing is how she got lost. Catherine said she called out to her siblings and father when she lost her way. Interesting. Why didn't anyone hear her? So, which of these caves and discoveries intrigues you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next compilation.